you want to ask Brock at all? Because we kind of went through everything here so far. I think we touched on everything, right?
Yeah, no, and then I had some technical difficulties here from our remote, which I wasn't able to punch in, Brock, but thank you very much for joining us on the Reggae Money Show. We really appreciate it. And I just had two questions that hopefully we still have time in the segment, Ron.
Yeah. Let's get through this real quickly.
Yeah, no problem then. So Brock, our question was to you. You know, we do everything that's revolving around the reggae and the reggae industry, specifically with Reggae Plus. Now, is Catapult able to do? Because we were reading about the secondary offering market. Do you think, or do you see there being an opportunity as reggae starts to develop, and a lot of these reggaes that are listed with the Securities and Exchange Commission are not necessarily a traded or have a symbol security, but one day, eventually, reggaes, because all the paper and all the shares are registered as part of the offering, there could be a large secondary market for the reggaes that have completed an offering but have yet not to list in the public market. What do you think about that? And is Catapult able to facilitate that type of arrangement?
Yeah, so, I think that's one of the big things in this industry, right? You have groups. I mean, you do have startups that are doing Reggae Plus deals or groups for new ventures. But what you're seeing a lot of are groups like Commercial Real Estate saying, we have these very large deals. They're institutional quality. We're going to leverage Catapult technology to make it more scalable and handle that, that number of investor count. What about liquidity? How can we provide investor liquidity? So that's really the next step here. And I think you're going to see the blend between what a public security and what a private security is as a result. So like you said, I mean, it might not have a ticker symbol, but, it might be a fractionalized piece of a real estate deal, or it might be some type of loan product. And I think you're going to see the secondary markets on the private side change drastically of what they are today. So I think you'll see that with all of these different platforms launching with this capability. And then you'll see some of those go to the public markets, which we've seen with something like Elios Motors, where they actually did the crowdfunding with a Reggae Plus deal. They didn't close out the full raise, but I think they raised $17 million, and then they went on OCC. So, I think that's probably one of the biggest trends I think that we'll see in the private side.
Right, and we do believe that there's still more to come for reggae, and there is going to be a large market because, as people understand, the $50 million now moved up to $75 million threshold. That's a 12-month period that these companies can use to raise money. So, say they didn't, like Elio didn't raise the entire 25 that they were looking for, and went with 17. Say Elio takes a step back and says, well, you know what, we're not necessarily going to go public right now. We might do another offering because we didn't really hit the target of 25 million. We're going to do another offering for, say, 10 million, so that way we can get up to that number that we needed. Would Catapult be able then to, use Catapult not only to, CRM all their investors, because they had something like 6,000 investors, and that's a huge deck to manage if you were just trying to do that. I heard that one of the issues that they were having was being able to contact everybody after they're testing the waters and saying, look, you showed interest in our offering about 3 months ago. We're here to see if that's true and to send you our offering statement so that way you can participate. But I understand that you guys do a lot of CRM for the investor side. So my thought, or the part of this question, just as a follow up, Brock, is that Elio goes for that second offering, and now you have all this free trading security in a private company that's fully reporting, okay? Because it is private, because it's still private, but it is fully reporting. So it's fully reporting. Maybe it has more than 300 shareholders, so technically it would be public, but it doesn't have a ticker symbol. Catapult can actually wrap all of those investors and be able to provide, if I understood the technology correctly, be able to provide a secondary market for people who weren't able to get in the first round of Elio, or who are contemplating even getting in the second round of Elio, but they could actually buy some of that lower priced paper as part of that first offering if some of those investors wanted to get liquidity.
Yeah, exactly. So that's our secondary markets is actually just to be clear on that's so the investor CRM is fully already built into our system. That's a big part of managing these deals, right? Because you have people doing these things in spreadsheets, using email, using maybe DocuSign at the most. Very difficult to keep track of everything. It's not centralized, et cetera. So, that's part of our system. And for us, the secondary markets was like the logical add-on. So we're fully rolling that out in the beginning of 2018. So it's been a long development project. But yeah. So that's tapping into that side of it. So. Yeah.
Brock, why don't you tell our listeners how to get a hold of you, and if you have a website or where they should go for more information on Catapult?
Yeah, so our website's www.katipult.com. So kind of a spin on the word catapult. If you Google Catapult software, we'll probably be the top in Google. If you're interested in the stock, we are a publicly listed company. So our ticker symbol is FUND on the TSX Venture Exchange.
Great. Brock, thank you so much for being on the show. We really appreciate your input here. And I think you guys got a great project going on. And hopefully you'll come on again at a later date when you have more news. Okay?
For sure. No, I appreciate you inviting me, and I respect that you guys are doing some very good coverage on this space. I think it's an exciting space, but it's still obviously newer days. So there's a lot of people that need to be educated on what's possible with Reg A Plus and kind of the power of it. So
exactly.
So, yeah.
All right, folks, you're listening to the Reg A. Yeah, absolutely, you're listening to the Reg A Money Show. Ron Costa, Miguel Dotris. We're coming at you over iHeartRadio and a number of different syndicated sources. Thank you so much for listening. Please subscribe, and we'll be coming at you next week with another Reg A Money Show episode. Have a good week, everyone. Thanks.